Imagine navigating the highs and lows of real estate, learning from past challenges, and building a future filled with promise. Vinnie's journey from Philadelphia to Charleston is a testament to resilience and innovation. Stay tuned as we explore the secrets to thriving in the real estate world and beyond. Hit subscribe and join us on this exciting adventure.
Up on the shop, up on the shelf, there was an old microphone. He tried it out for himself. His name is Russ. He bought that mic, and now he's got a podcast show.
Welcome to the Blue Cup Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and like and click that bell. Very excited for our guest today. Vincent DiMarco, Vinnie is on with us today. And Vinnie and I just completed a transaction. And without going in the weeds at all, it was a buy, renovate, rent, and repeat burst strategy. So I bought the house, I brought it to Vinnie, and I had hard money where I'm paying upwards of 15% interest. And then I can bring it to Vinnie and they do a refinance for me into a long-term loan so I can rent it out. And it was, I loved your underwriting team. Underwriters can be a pain in the butt. Yours were very easy to work with. And, you know, there's always some hair on the deal, as it says. You gotta pick the hair off of it. But they were very reasonable about, and it was quick too. So I was very impressed with that business wise. And I always talk about the way we met with all of our guests. And you and I met at some real estate investing groups because you were the new kid in town getting started. And I was helping my sister with a kitchen cabinet and remodeling business at that time, and ended up doing a kitchen remodel. So that worked out great. And I said, well, let me circle back when it's time for me to use some funding. I fund cities, and you know, Vinny's my guy. That's where we went from there. So we have very, very different upbringings. I am Southern fried, and you're from Philly.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for having me, Russ. I appreciate the introduction and super excited to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me about growing up in Philadelphia in an Italian family.
Yeah, so last name DeMarco, pretty much 100% Italian. Growing up, my mom was cooking pretty much every night in the kitchen, making homemade pastas, extremely Sicilian Italian dishes growing up. So was kind of you know, super lucky to grow up in a household like that where, you know, you have a family that supports you in everything you do. My dad growing up, I played ice hockey. He was one of my coaches since I was 5 years old. We traveled the country, Canada, pretty much all over the world playing hockey together. So me and him are extremely, you know, close knit. And yeah, it was just a great childhood, and can't thank them enough for doing that for me. So
yeah, and I met your dad through the process of doing the kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, mad respect for just how cut and dry he is. I mean, there's a thing in the South where we're kind of backhanded about things, and we're, you know, nice when we shouldn't be nice. And it's not that New York, Philadelphia people are rude. You're just right at the point. It's like, here's the point. Let's, you know, can we do this or not do this?
Yeah.
And I love talking to your dad about details of your project because he kept poking his nose in it, but it was very pleasant to work through. Like, yeah, just, you know, this is this and that's that. Let's go.
Yeah, and the child in me kind of gets embarrassed at that.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
Growing up now, I see
Right.
that what you have to do to get stuff
But
done.
there's not a damn thing you can do about it. So
Yeah.
you might as well just accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he showed a lot of respect for you too. He did not feel like he was being your dad and doing it for you. He was just making sure that I was doing the right things and that you and he and everybody were doing. So I never felt like he was treating you like a child or treating me like an outsider. It was just let's really get to the point, and it doesn't matter whose fault it is. Let's just get it right. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
So very solid dude. So growing up, your dad, what kind of company does he have?
He has his own insurance agency. So he started out at AAA and then he opened his own brokerage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's up
And
in Philadelphia.
yeah, I remember calling him at an insurance office. And he did some real estate investing in the
Yeah,
early 2000s, right?
yeah. So he, in around like 2006, 2007, him and some investors were investing in new construction projects in like the Fort Myers, Lehigh Acres area. So my dad was raising capital from friends and family, neighbors, up in, the north, and bringing that capital down south to kind of just start that boom that was going on in Florida at the time as far as the construction space. And we all know what happened in 2008, and it was definitely a rough time for him, and it kind of left a sour taste in his mouth with real estate. But I'm sure you also in 2008, it's a great learning experience, and everyone knows that real estate is a great way to create wealth. So it was just a great learning experience for him, and he taught me so much from it that I almost know exactly what happened in those times and kind of see it now in this market and understand what's going on. So him going through that helped me a ton, and he has some crazy stories from that 2008 crisis.
Yeah. Yep. One of the greatest things we can do is learn from someone else's experience.
Yeah.
And it's great that he was vulnerable enough to say, here's what happened. Here's what was unexpected. Here's what we maybe could have done differently. But a lot of times you can't really do anything differently.
Yeah.
My family went through something similar. My father bought 2 houses in the Florida Keys, like luxury rentals. And the same thing, the market just started tanking, and he sold on the way down, but still preserved some equity. He was really smart about when he did it. Because my siblings and I were saying, no, don't sell it, just ride it out. Well, that would have been the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Because where it bottomed out was really bad. Where he sold was pretty good.
Yeah.
And now we own a house in Key Largo that was bought pretty close to the bottom on the way up. And so it can work out.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that area is beautiful. And I think we're going to continue to see that grow as baby boomers are heading down there. And people are always looking to retire in the South, whether it's South Carolina, Georgia, or Florida.
My family's from North Carolina, South Carolina. And I've been to Philadelphia. It's a beautiful city. And I was very impressed with the blend of modern art and history as you go through the city. There's all kinds of cool murals and statues and all sorts of things with an enormous amount of history. And you played hockey was kind of a center point. And the family with the cooking and is most of your family close by, like aunts and uncles and everybody is right there?
Yeah, so it's funny. We were talking about this the other night because me and my fiance are planning our wedding. And it's just like how no one in my family ever moved out of the state. They all pretty much stayed in the Philadelphia area. And it's funny because I was talking to my dad last night, we're going to have the wedding in New York. And he's like, oh, like it's a destination wedding. I'm like, that is not a destination. Like, it's a 2-hour drive.
It's one state over.
Yeah. And it's just like so funny to me how like they think leaving the state is so much. It's just, yeah, it's very old school Italian, and it's super funny.
I love it. And you're here in Charleston.
Yeah. So me and my sister were like the first. So my sister went to USC,
Yes.
and I went to University of Tampa, and everyone in my family was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm getting out of here because I don't want to be here like my whole life, obviously."
Right. You can't get a good cheesesteak in Tampa.
No, not at all. So yeah, it's funny how things work. My brother's still in Pennsylvania, and then my sister's in Georgia now, and then I'm here. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
How do you like the Low Country?
I love it. So I'm a big foodie. Just growing up with my mom cooking all the time.
Yeah.
I was never ordering off the kids' menu. I was 5 years old ordering filet mignon and chicken parm, and people thought I was weird. But me and my fiance love going out to dinner here. So many great restaurants. Everyone's so nice, as you know. And we love it. We think it's somewhere that we definitely want to raise a family and have kids. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great. I mean, the only cities I would personally put over Charleston on food, just my opinion, are New York and New Orleans.
Nice.
Other than that, to me, Charleston's number 3.
Yeah.
Behind those, and we just have phenomenal food scene and anything you want. How's the Italian food in Charleston?
It's pretty good. It's nothing crazy. We went to a place called Coda del Pesce on Isle of Palms. I was very happy with that place. We like Melfi's pretty good. I didn't love Pilato. We also like Costa, which is downtown as well.
Oh, I haven't been there.
Yeah.
Melfi's is pretty. I mean, it's solid. It's not. It's not Mama's food from Philadelphia, but it's
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty good place to land.
So I've never been to New Orleans. So do you go a lot? Is that why you said that?
Well, my wife is from the Mississippi Gulf Coast, about an hour from New Orleans.
Got it.
And even before that, for a birthday trip, I asked the girl I was dating back then, she said, "Where do you want to go?" I said, "New Orleans is my first choice." I've only been there 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
Especially, I mean, it's very seafood based, but if you like seafood, the quality is just the flavor.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And I feel the same way about New York, like with Chinatown and Little Italy. You eat in those places, it's like a different level
Yeah.
for me of Chinese food or Italian food or from what I can get in the deep South.
Yeah.
So
100%. And I think a lot of the influence in Charleston, the restaurant scene, has been from New York, from Philadelphia, and people
Yeah.
up here bringing their business down here. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool blend of the low country because my whole family, kind of a weird story because I grew up in the mountains in Virginia, but we didn't belong there. My whole family is in Beaufort County or Charleston County,
Yeah.
period. It's like everybody.
Yeah.
So this is home, and I love the way some of the restaurants are blending the low country with some of the New York and Philly influences. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool thing. Do you get to travel much?
Yeah. So I've been, we did Italy 2 summers ago. I was in London this year, Paris, and then we go to St. Martin a lot. I don't know if you've ever been to St. Martin in the Caribbean. They also have a great food scene. It's kind of like a Dutch and a French side to the island, which is cool. But Italy's my favorite. We did Sicily for 14 days, and it was just beautiful.
So St. Martin has a lot of French food?
Yes.
French food?
Yeah.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
It's very interesting. Yeah. Have you been to Italy?
Been to where?
Italy?
Yes, been to Italy.
Got it. Nice. Yeah, it's Sicily is very different. So it's a lot of like Persian influence rather than Italian. So it's a much different culture and food in Sicily. Much more laid back than I would think, like a southern Amalfi Coast or things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're able to go to Italy once in a while?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we flew into Venice. Venice is great. And then did 14 days in Sicily. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I haven't been to Sicily. We went to various smaller Italian places. Of course, Tuscany is amazing.
Yeah.
And then I really enjoyed Rome. I mean, for a city, we ate at just kind of sidewalk cafe type places, and the food's phenomenal. I mean, they're making the pasta as you sit and wait for the table. They're making the pasta right there in the window, so it's hard to beat.
It's awesome. And as everyone knows, you can go and eat as much pasta as you want and not feel crappy after, like here,
Right,
Yeah.
because it's so pure. I mean, there's no preservatives. They just made it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I loved visiting Italy, and we'll go back. Love Spain too. If you haven't been to Spain, Barcelona is awesome.
Really?
Very cool place. Paella is the food,
Yeah.
and there's the Picasso Museum and all sorts of things that we enjoyed.
Yeah, I've never been to Spain. When we were in London, we went to I forget what it's called, but it's this famous market in London where they have a bunch of cultures that come together.
Yeah.
And they have a big thing of paella going. They got sandwiches from Italy. They have all this stuff, and it's really cool to see the blend of cultures come together. Which London is a great food scene as well. So yeah, it was a fun trip.
Yeah, that was I haven't been to London, but one of the highlights of Barcelona was the market. It's huge, and they have prepared food, or you can buy a leg of lamb and take it home and cook it. I mean, it's such a different culture from what we have here with our Piggly Wiggly supermarket. It's a very different, and I enjoyed being exposed to that, and amazingly inexpensive compared to, I feel like our cost of living is so much higher than some of those European areas.
Yeah, 100%.
Is your family Sicilian?
My mom's side is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, 'cause I don't understand it, but I've heard those are two different cultures.
yeah, so it's a lot of like Persian influence from an island that's nearby. They almost like took over Sicily and then moved all the Italians out of it.
Really?
So it's a much different culture. It's a different language. Like my fiance's father speaks fluent Italian, and then he's in Sicily, and he really didn't understand anyone, which is crazy. So
Yeah, that's wild.
it's a much different culture, and the food's much different. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, what did you say the influence was? I missed the
Persian.
Persian.
Yeah, Persian.
Really?
Yeah.
So how does that influence the food and the culture?
There's just some different dishes. There's this nice chickpea dish that they make. Other food, they make spleen sandwiches. I don't know if you've ever had one of those. So
I
that's
don't
a
think so.
dish. And then the people are just much different. They're darker toned, different language, like I said, and it's a cool blend of, some Italian people there, and then a lot of the Persians as well.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I know in France in particular, we noticed from northern France to southern France, the people are so different.
Yeah,
They're almost
exactly.
like two different countries.
Yeah.
And then Sicily is an island, if I have my geography correct, it's an island not far from Italy. I mean, you're just off the coast of Italy,
Yep.
but they've developed a really different culture, it sounds like.
Yes. Yeah. It's really cool. And there's a volcano there, Mount Etna, where there's wineries everywhere. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I learned in Tuscany, and then we went to California this year, that wine grapes can only grow on 5% of the planet's surface because it
Wow.
needs a certain type of soil drainage, certain amount of rainfall, and not too much rainfall. I mean, it was fascinating how, because we visited vineyards in Tuscany and we drove by them in France. We didn't really stop at any.
Yeah.
In Napa Valley in California, it has that same sort of mild, dry climate that sounds like Sicily. And I remember the soil drainage was really important when you talk about volcanic. I'm a big gardener, so I think about enough water or not enough water for plants. So that soil drainage with the volcanic rock would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And that Mediterranean climate, because the whole time we were there, it was September, early September, and it was hot. Not to us, we're South Carolinians, not hot, but it was, full heat in the middle of the day, but it is a dry heat,
Yeah.
and then cool morning and evening. So could really see how things like tomatoes and grapes would thrive.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
olive trees, right? Olive trees.
Yeah. I came home and bought an olive tree and put it in my yard. See what happens.
How's it doing? Is it growing yet?
He's maturing well. No olives yet.
Yeah.
But he is definitely hanging in there.
I'll have to come over and steal some off. That's awesome.
I'll let you know when I have some.
Yeah.
So this is my ridiculous nature, and everybody who knows me well knows this. If we're hiking through the woods and I see a berry, I'm going to taste it. And my wife is like, "Don't eat that. You're going to get sick." And it's like, I'm not eating it. I'm just tasting it.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for our table at an Italian cafe, left and right, and picked a nice black olive off the tree and ate it, and it's disgusting. Because they have to marinate for 11 months. I
Yeah.
looked it up later. It's like, it's 11 months of marination in vinegar and oil
Yeah.
before you can eat them. It's like, God, that was terrible.
Yeah. That's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah. And my sister is the same thing. Like, why do you just pick random things off trees and think you're going to eat them? They're not.
I would never. I personally, I couldn't do that. I'd be like, is this thing poisonous? Am I gonna die? Like, I don't know.
So I hear that you were recently engaged.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I met her when we were at school at the University of Tampa down in Florida, and we've been dating for over 4 years now. We've owned a house together for 2 years. Her family's awesome, very Italian as well. So yeah, I thought it was a great time to bend the knee and finally make it official. So super excited about that. She's great. She lets me get work done when I need to get work done, and she's a great supporter. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you set a wedding date?
We're thinking August of next year, it's looking like. So pretty soon. It's going to be in under a year. Which,
and I heard it's a destination wedding in New York.
Yeah. Yeah, for my side of the family, they have to drive 2 hours. That's a destination.
Is she from New York?
Yeah, she's from Westchester, New York. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have a good friend, had a good friend, just died in April, was in Westchester for many years. I actually have several friends who have lived there over time. Beautiful, beautiful place.
Beautiful, and 45 minutes from the city. It's a
Yeah.
great area. Yeah.
Talk about what you do in your business and how that affords you the lifestyle that you can go to Italy and you can go to New York for your wedding. And that's kind of something we like to weave through is, what people can do to have a rewarding career and a rewarding lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure. I guess I'll start out with the beginning. So when I was down in Tampa, our founder of iPhone Cities came in and pitched this company that I was interning for on a townhome project. And the company's based in Philadelphia. Their headquarters are in Philly. So me and the founder kind of hit it off, and he was like, "What do you got after school? Are you going to stay here? What's your plan?" And I really didn't have much going on other than that internship. So he offered me the opportunity to either move to Charleston, Austin, Texas, or Fort Lauderdale. And me and my now fiance, in between probably Austin and here. And then her sister is at the College of Charleston. So we ended up picking here. And my job would be to manage all of South Carolina for the company.
Yeah.
So thankfully, Charleston is a very close, tight-knit real estate community.
Yes.
I will admit the first 6 months it was pretty tough to break into. The first 6 months were definitely brutal. I had the founders calling me being like, "What are you even doing down there? We're not closing any deals. Who are you talking to? Who do we need to set meetings with?" And then after the 6 months, it blew up. Staying in this market, being someone that's trustworthy, respectable, it's super important for your business. And I think it's kind of helped me grow the book of business that I have today. So that's kind of the beginning. And
you got dogs barking in the background. What kind of dogs do you have?
Yeah, so I have a golden doodle that we got. She's about to turn 2 in November. And then my fiance's college dog, which is a cockapoo named Millie. She's almost 4. So we got Coda, the golden doodle. We got her to kind of be friends with Millie, and they love each other. So it's been fun.
Yeah, I
2 dogs is a lot, but it's worth it.
I was awakened at 6:45 this morning. My dogs usually bark, but they were singing the song of their people, and Oxens.
Yeah.
So it's technically a hound, and there's one particular fire truck siren or something that just sets them off.
Yeah.
And they howl for 10 minutes. That was 6:45 this morning. So time to get up.
Same thing here. Whenever they hear the trash come by, whenever someone closes the car door, it's just, it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, the barking is normal, but about once a month they'll do that howling. It's, it sounds like a very small wolf pack.
Yeah.
10-pound dogs.
Yeah, that's funny.
So yeah, that's fun. They're fun. So do you have any trips or travel planned for this year?
Not at the moment. I'm going up to Philly for our Christmas party. We're going to do probably a week and a half up in New York and Philadelphia for the holiday. So it'll be good to see all the family. And then just planning for the wedding. I think that's going to be the main priority. And then obviously the honeymoon I've been looking at too. So
yeah, have you decided where you're going for the honeymoon?
We're thinking about either doing 2 weeks in Japan, so doing a week in Tokyo and then a week relaxing at a beach resort, or maybe Hawaii or Greece. That's kind of what we're narrowing in on.
Well, that all sucks. I wouldn't want to do any of that. So
yeah, no, I love.
Be hard to choose.
I know. So we're thinking about it. I think Japan would be awesome. I've never been, so
yeah, I hear good things. Apparently, somebody slammed the car door.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm familiar. That's why I do this at the office and not at home, because my dog should be making noise too.
Yeah. No, I thought about doing a co-working spot to work during the day, but they're expensive. They're very expensive.
Yeah, they can be.
Yeah.
The home where we are is quite reasonable, if you wanted to look into that. And I won't spit out numbers and that sort of thing, but I will give a plug to the home. We're recording. We have a media room. We have a conference room. We have a golf simulator, and then the co-working space. And I use the printer to print one page. I try not to print up a lot of ink, but I needed a page for this. So
I would be probably stuck in the golf simulator all day.
Be in the golf simulator all day.
Yeah,
it's hard to resist sometimes. for sure. Well,
That's
very
another thing
cool.
about Charleston. The golf is just awesome. Like I'm a big golfer, so I'm playing about once a week at this point.
Oh, wow. Where do you
Yeah.
play?
I do. So I live in Park West, so I play like Dunes West, Rivertown a lot. Charleston National. Those three are kind of the main ones that I've been playing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Muni if I could ever get a tee time, but it's tough.
Yeah, the last time I played the Muni was with Dusty Keefe, who you know, and James Hickey, my acquisitions guy. And I was like, let's play the Muni. We'll just keep it easy. And this was 3 or 4 years ago. And there were 7 holes open because they were remodeling it.
Yeah.
It was like the worst round of golf ever. It's a nice course. I mean, today I would go play it for sure. But I should have done my research ahead of time because we showed up at the clubhouse and it's like, well, there are only 7 of the 18 holes are open because we've got bulldozers.
Yeah.
And they've done a really good job on it.
So what, you just played the 7 holes twice or like kept going around until you played 18?
No, we got frustrated and quit. We played the 7 holes and went home because it was a lot of, you know, going through construction sites to get, but it's a great course. And today it's even better because of all the work they did.
And it's affordable. Like, it's the only affordable course in Charleston. So
yeah, it's public. It's affordable. They have a great hamburger restaurant at the end of the round.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I had a neighbor who used to live, or a friend who lived right behind it, and he said, "I'll just go to the club and get a burger, and not even play golf."
Yeah, that's
So
funny.
the Muni is a nice course. So let's go back in time, and we talked about, you know, you're growing up in 2008. You were how old?
I was 8 years old. I was born in 2000. So
Gotcha. Okay. So your dad had invested in the Florida market and took a beating as all of us did. It's an 8.
yeah,
So what do you remember about that?
a lot of crazy stories. His business partner ended up going to jail for about 5 years. Another business partner of him killed himself a few years later. So it's like there's a lot of crazy stories that come along with it. Kind of like the high level view is my dad was raising a ton of capital up in the north to bring it down there, and his business partner was taking that capital and buying yachts and buying planes instead of putting it into the projects, where you have projects that are halfway done and then the market takes a downturn and it's just sitting, right? And all that capital is elsewhere. So that's what they ran into. And it was a major issue, obviously, for my dad, because he's raising money from our neighbors and friends and family. And they're like, where's our money?
Yeah.
It was it's crazy.
So one of the partners went to prison for fraud.
Yeah. Yep. So he was taking money that was supposed to go into the deals for the construction and putting it elsewhere into his personal use.
So in your career, that's a lesson learned to watch where the money goes.
Yeah.
And to track it. And I know as a borrower and a lender, as a borrower, I see the lenders being much more strict about, you know, we're giving you a draw.
Yeah.
Send us photos. Tell it where did that money go?
Yeah.
That's really important, so you don't end up in that situation with somebody who's defrauded the lenders and gone to jail. 5 years. That's pretty serious.
Yeah, and it's definitely tightened up in the lending space. Like all of our draws now are geotagged to the property. Pictures have to be clear. We're only really funding stuff if it's in, like, we'll fund 50% if like windows are on the site, but we're not going to give you all the money until they're, you know, in, because you could take those windows to another job site and use them elsewhere. So it still happens today, but not as much as it could have back then.
Well, you're prepared for it, and it's not going to happen as much. And then you said another partner committed suicide. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other partner was kind of in with the county commissioners.
Yeah.
They were also taking that money to go to dinners with the commissioners and trying to learn where the growth is going to be in the area so they can buy the land, things like that.
Yes.
So I don't know exactly why he did it, but it was probably a lot of the pressure from what happened over the last 3 years, I would think.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure and a lot of mourning of the loss of something you expected to happen that didn't happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I'm glad your dad pulled through it.
Yeah, it was I think over the last 10 to 15 years it was just a lot of, like, you know, pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, saving money, and, you know, making your character right again, right? So he's excited to get back in real estate. Once he sells the company, he's going to probably do some stuff with me. It's something that he's super passionate about, so he's excited to get back into it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Does he have a timeline for that?
He's been trying to sell the business this year. He's got some offers, so probably in the next 2 years he'll make the move to either, he's looking in St. Augustine, Florida, or here right now. So that's going to happen probably in the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not real familiar with the insurance business. How many employees does he have? What does that kind of look like?
Yeah, so he has probably about 12 employees, 2 or 3 guys on the sales side, some account managers and in-house underwriters, and that's about it. They run pretty thin. So him and his brother are the 2 owners, so they're managing a lot of the day-to-day.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. I'm the last person to ask about insurance. Like, we'll be in car rides on the way home from hockey games, and he's like trying to teach me about insurance, and it goes through one ear out the other. So like to this day, I really don't understand all the stuff he does.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, Dad, whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, it's insurance. It's boring. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your relationship with your dad, again, I was very impressed with your father, talking to him in person and on the phone. How do you think he influenced what you're doing now?
A lot, definitely a lot. Before I went to college, we did like a college tour in Florida where I looked at probably 5 or 6 schools, and he was like, we want you to go to Florida because of the real estate market, and we want you to learn about it. We want you to get your hands dirty with internships and working with companies that are smaller, so you can be in meetings where you're talking to civil engineers, talking to appraisers. So like that's what I did my junior and senior year in college, and he really pushed that on me, and I think it definitely helped kickstart my career. But we did the Florida tours. University of Tampa's campus was beautiful, so right when I saw that campus, I picked it, and that market from my freshman year to when I graduated grew so much, and it's still growing. So like seeing that at 18, 19, 20 years old was definitely special.
Yeah, it is. My mentor lives in St. Petersburg and has been in Tampa. He kind of moves back and forth from Tampa to Mexico to California and then back to Tampa. So I think he's in St. Pete right now.
It's a great area.
Beautiful, beautiful town and great real estate market. And we had a podcast guest on, Chris Aletta, moved from Charleston. They had lived in Tampa, moved to Charleston, and his wife was like, this is not tropical enough for me.
Yeah.
So they moved back to Tampa, and he's done really, really well with house flipping and rentals and all sorts of things in Tampa. So it was a good place for you to land.
It was. Yeah, it was. That skyline grew a ton when I was there, and then obviously I think the sports had a huge influence on that. Tom Brady went to the Bucs, won a Super Bowl. The hockey team there won 2 or 3 Stanley Cups when I was there. So it was a lot of fun, and that city grew a ton.
Yeah, it's amazing that a Florida hockey team would be the Stanley Cup winners.
Yeah.
How would you expect?
And then you have the Panthers who are in Fort Lauderdale that just won last year. So it's like, it's just funny to me how it's happening. Then you have all the diehard fans in Canada for the, Maple Leafs and the Canadians that have been waiting for a cup for 20 plus years. So it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I assume you grew up a Flyers fan.
I did. Yeah. It's been misery the last 10, 15 years, but yeah. Thankfully I have the Eagles and the Phillies. They've been doing good. But yeah, that's the one thing about Charleston that is a downside. The pro sports I kind of miss.
Yeah.
So I wish we had that.
Yeah. When I lived in St. Louis for 5 years, and during that 5 years, they won the World Series at least once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
And the women in my office knew more about baseball than I did. And everybody was like listening to, we had to work Saturdays a lot of times. So people are listening to the games in their office, and they were like, you're from South Carolina. Who's your baseball team? I was like, we don't have a baseball team. And they said, what? Well, who's your football team? We don't have a football team.
Yeah.
Who's your hockey team? I said, well, there's the Stingrays. And they were like, that's crazy. I mean, they were so sports obsessed. My buddy Kevin that I worked with was like, what'd you do this weekend? He said, I sat on the couch and watched sports in the basement all weekend long. And to me, that was insane.
Yeah.
And to him, it was insane that I didn't get that.
Yeah.
They grew up with that. Yeah, South Carolina's different. I mean, we have very different advocations. It's not like Philadelphia or St. Louis, And I had really enjoyed blues hockey.
Yeah.
St. Louis I can't remember if I don't think they won the championship, but they were in the running every year I lived there. I mean, they were real in the playoffs every year, and that was fun to
Yeah.
see. And it's fun to go to a Cardinals game live, but I can't bear to watch it on TV.
No,
It's just not the same thing.
you couldn't pay me to watch a full baseball game unless it's like playoff baseball.
Yeah,
No, I wouldn't. But I've been to that stadium in St. Louis. It's awesome.
yeah, it's a great.
Yeah.
The old one, probably the new one.
Yeah,
While I was there, they built the new stadium.
got it.
I got to go to one game in the old stadium and then one game or several games in the new stadium.
Yeah.
So that's a baseball town, man. They went nuts when they won the World Series. It was crazy. And
I remember that. Yeah.
yeah,
That was who was on that team? Carpenter. That was what, 2007 to 2012, that era?
I moved there in 2006 and left in 2011.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
So maybe 2007 or 8.
Yeah.
And do you see any possibility we get a pro team of any kind near us?
I don't see it. I mean, you have Charlotte. I would see like something coming in like Jacksonville before like the Charleston area, Jacksonville, Florida. Got Atlanta that's close, Charlotte. So I just don't see anything coming into the Carolinas or South Carolina anytime soon, at least.
Yeah, Ryan's been telling me there are rumors of a NFL team coming this way, but I don't know where we'd put them.
Yeah. Like what? I guess Charleston's a big enough city population wise. What's like you said, like a lot of the people that grew up here and lived here, they're just big college football fans. They don't have a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're crazy about college football. And again, my friends in St. Louis were baffled. Like, I mean, there's Mizzou, University of Missouri's really good football team.
Yeah.
But nobody cared because you had the Rams left St. Louis right after I moved there. But we had football, baseball, and hockey.
Yeah.
The hockey and baseball teams were fantastic. Rams didn't do that well, and they moved back to LA.
Yeah. Whose barbecue do you like better, St. Louis or Charleston?
Who's what?
Barbecue?
Charleston, by far.
Okay.
There was one place in St. Louis called Super Smokers, and two places. There was like Lloyd's downtown, which is one of those that they open 11, and you better be at the door at 10.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be sold out of ribs, at 11:10.
Yeah.
That place was good, and Super Smokers I liked, which was a city. But Charleston, I mean, we have such a variety.
Yeah.
The St. Louis barbecue is good, but I'd prefer. Actually, for Eastern North Carolina over either one, but Charleston has good barbecue.
I think Charleston goes head to head with like Austin.
I'm getting dirty looks from Ryan because I mentioned North Carolina barbecue. My mother's from North Carolina. I grew up on that.
That's funny. No, I think we go head to head with like Austin, Texas barbecue.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Austin, my mouth is watering.
I know.
Yeah, in Austin, it's different. I mean, it's just Texas barbecue is just different. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a completely different thing from Carolina barbecue.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know what they do to the brisket in Texas, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I've had some good brisket here, but in Austin, it's like, how is this even real? It's so good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I got to try. I haven't been out to the Palmyra barbecue.
Definitely get the beef cheeks.
Yeah, I see that on Instagram all the time, and I need to get out there.
Beef cheeks, the chicken, and the barbacoa. And Palmyra's only open certain days of the week. And my wife is a Montessori school principal, and she's super curious. So the owner of the restaurant came to the table at Palmyra. His name is Hector. Hector came to the table, says, everything okay, blah, blah. And she started just barraging him with questions because I have a ton of photos on the wall of his grandmother holding a shotgun and, all his family and people that he's cooked with and all awards he's won.
Yeah.
And so she said, can we see your smokers? And he said, yeah, finish your lunch and then I'll take you on. And he took us out in the smokehouse and he's got these massive custom-made smokers with like the lid so heavy it has a counterbalance on the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Beth was asking him, tell me the whole process. And so he went through, well, this is how we do the cheeks, this is how we do the ribs, this is how we do the chicken, how many hours, what time they start. So they start some stuff at midnight because they open at 11 a.m. They start some things at 5 a.m. because you don't want them overcooked.
Yeah.
He went through the whole thing with us. So that's an experience. It's a really small place, but the food is exceptional. I think it was his mother and his niece and several people behind the counter were family.
Yeah.
So,
that's
super
nice
cool
of him
place
to
to
do
check
that,
out.
giving away his secrets. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I couldn't duplicate what he's doing, so he can
Yeah.
give away those secrets. But he comes from the Texas barbecue via Puerto Rico. He grew up in Puerto Rico, worked in Texas for years, and then came to Charleston.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got to check it out. I need to.
Yeah.
My mouth's watering as well.
I think they're only open Thursday to Sunday or something, like as a barbecue joint typically is.
Yeah. Is that somewhere where you have to get there like before they open and wait in line, or?
Not anymore. When it first opened, yes, but
Yeah.
not anymore. But they sell out. Like I went in there once, somebody had said try the chicken, and they were sold out of chicken by the time we got there. Wasn't disappointed because there's plenty of good things to eat, but
Yeah.
they do sell out.
I see the beef cheek tostadas. They look so
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, the way blends of Puerto Rico. I had a roommate years ago who was Puerto Rican and learned a little bit about their food and their culture. So the way Hector blends Puerto Rican with Texas with the Low Country is pretty cool.
Yeah,
So it's worth checking out.
for sure. Sweet.
Yeah, we started that conversation with St. Louis barbecue,
Yeah.
and when we did a little tour of the South with the
I told you I could talk about food all day. So
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So what is your why? I mean, why do you get up every day and do what you do?
yeah, it's a great question. I think a lot of it has to do with helping people. Like, there's nothing that makes me feel better than closing a loan and helping someone get their first flip done. Adding to their rental portfolio, helping them grow to business where they want to be. And then it's also just building an empire of my own. At 24 years old, I think having this job has helped me kind of look at all aspects of real estate, and from the investor's view, from the lender's view, from so many different aspects. It's helped me kind of gain this Rolodex of stuff to be able to go ahead and do my own stuff in the next 5 years to build an empire and build generational wealth for my family. That's the goal. Yeah.
I love it. And having done business with you, it shines through. You're very good at communicating. I always knew what was going on. There's great communication, which as a client or a customer, I don't know which one I am, really, really appreciate that. So I like you immediately when I met you. And I think that you mentioned it earlier. We do business with people that we know, like, and trust.
Yep.
And that's what it takes.
Yeah.
First, I need to know you. I kind of need to like you. And then most importantly, I need to trust you.
Yeah.
And so we're there.
Thank you. Yeah, the first year, like, gaining trust from everyone was the hardest part.
Yeah.
I think, like, there was loans where I was like, if we don't get this done, like, everyone's gonna know and everyone's gonna hate me and no one's gonna want to do loans with me. So, like, we found ways to get it done. So it's that first year is super important.
Yeah, it is. My one of my mentors said, you think about your business, you build a rocket ship, and you build it, you build it, you build it, you fuel it, and then you light it, and it sits there and just rumbles and takes off very, very slowly.
Yeah.
But once you can get it up in the atmosphere or out of the atmosphere, then the orbit's easy.
Yep.
Much easier. You have to correct it and, maintain it, but it's that initial breaking gravity's pull, getting in the door. Charleston's, as you said, we have a fantastic community of investors here, but it like any place is kind of a closed system. People we're doing business with.
Yeah.
You had to break in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I totally get that. It's like you said, the trust, you know them, you know that they'll get it done. So, like, for people to give me a shot at 23 years old, not really knowing much about it, it was huge. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you've done very, very well. And congratulations on the upcoming wedding.
Thank you. Appreciate it. The destination wedding.
Your house looks great. I saw some pictures online of the bathrooms and getting it all wrapped up. So super cool to be 24 years old and have a nice house in a nice area and a great job. Reaching out to people who are watching or listening, we like to let people know that anybody can do what you do if they'll just take the steps that you take.
Yeah.
So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, like you said, taking the step is one. And then my motto is just consistency. The last 2 years, every morning I'm at my desk at 8:30 a.m. making cold calls. That's just what I do, and I'm consistent with it. It's what gets you business. So the consistency has been super important for me. Uh, and then just like not like my first 6 months, so many times I was just like about to give up, and it was tough for me to like see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I think that consistency helped me, just put my head down, not worry about anything else except closing business, and get me to where I wanted to be, which is where I am now. But there's always more goals to hit. So that consistency and just enjoying the journey, I think, is the best way to think about it. Like we've talked about many times, I think there's a book called Trophies where you get a trophy, you hit your goal, and you're sitting there and you're not happy, you're not, feeling any joy, when at the end of the day, the joy is in the journey, and enjoying that is the most important part.
Yeah, The Trophy Effect by Michael Nitti.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I found myself in your position. I'm 30 years older than you are, but 25 years ago, I found myself in that position of 6 months with a new company when I moved to St. Louis.
Yeah.
And they were paying me a draw against future commissions. It was a straight commission job, but there was a draw so I could eat.
Yeah.
Feed my family for 6 months. And the general manager called me in his office and said, okay, Dave and Gary want to know what's going on because you haven't sold anything in 6 months. And he said, what do you have? So I went, he said, bring all your folders from your desk and we'll sit down. So we went through and I showed him, I'm going to sell this and this and this and this and this and this and this in the next month to 2 months maximum. And he kind of laughed and he was like, go back to work. He said, he said, I'm not the least bit worried because I had a track record before that.
Yeah.
With another company. And he said, Gary and Dave just want to know that you're not, I said, I can't live on the draw. I got to make these commissions.
Exactly.
The draw is barely enough to keep the lights on. And so I'm motivated and I showed him and he was literally belly laughing. Like, just go back to your desk, go to work.
Yeah.
Because of that consistency of every conversation is critically important.
Yep.
Every single one is critically important. And I get lazy and forget that sometimes. So it's good to hear from you about the consistency, and everything builds on everything else.
Yep. And that's a trait that I think I got from my dad. He's consistent in everything he does in his life. And that's, I think, why I look up to him and why I have that motivation.
Yeah, he's a fireball.
Yeah. He
really is a ball of energy. You're very laid back. Your dad is just like,
I didn't get that. Yeah, I didn't get I wish I had that gift, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, he's very pleasant. It's not upsetting or anything, but he's just like, go, 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 go. And the 10 minutes I spent with him in person and, a little time on the phone, it's like, all right, good. How's the, and I'm trying to keep up with him.
Yeah.
But he's a dynamo for sure.
After like a 10-minute phone call with him, I'm like ready to take a nap or something. It's crazy.
Well, he instilled that consistency in you. And as somebody in the insurance business, I know there's a ton of building that business to get anywhere. And the mortgage business too. I mean, you're in kind of a unique kind of mortgage business, building your customer base and, I'll be a repeat customer. And that's really the best thing any of us can hope for.
Yeah.
Even in my flipping and back in the wholesaling days, I bought 2 houses from a woman who was a nurse because her mother passed away and then her brain injury on the job and needed to go into assisted living. So once I bought the first house from her, she sold me the second house. And then we had a guy we bought 7 houses from.
Yeah.
Somebody else we bought 8. It's that repeat business and you'll do that. I mean, I'm sure you've got lots of people who are coming back because the service is so good.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm executing on my end and you guys are executing on your end, you do as much as, there is. So,
Yeah, you're definitely providing value, and everybody in your company's been easy to work with.
no, thank you for that. It means a lot. And, at the end of the day, it's the borrowers like you that are easy to work with that makes me get up in the mornings.
I try. I'm not the most meticulous record keeper,
Yeah.
but I do the best I can.
It's all about the organization. As long as you're organized on your end and get docs over in a timely manner, the deals get to the closing table quick. So,
Yes, definitely. Getting the signal from Ryan.
wow, we're at an hour. Jeez.
We'll see what's next. Yeah, we try to go a bit over an hour. Oh, I love this. It's a great question. What is it that you wish more borrowers knew?
Wow, jeez. I don't want to give a stupid answer. I got to think about this.
Take your time looking at it.
This is going to sound interesting, but like for a lot of the new borrowers I talk to, I wish they knew how much capital is out there and how many different types of lenders there are. Because I talk to people every day that are talking to me about doing their first deal. And for us, it's tougher to do deals where the borrower doesn't have experience. So like, I'm glad to make introductions to private lenders and hard money lenders that don't have an issue with that. So like being able to have a diversified capital stack of lenders is probably the most important thing you can have, in my opinion. And every borrower should have more than one lender. Because you never know if that capital is going to go dry the next day, and then you're sitting there at the closing table losing on a deal. So having a diversified group of lenders is super important.
I love that. I have been pretty successful with private lenders over the years because my coach drilled that into me from the very beginning.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Tim said, I think I'm quoting this correctly, he had done hundreds and hundreds of deals on apartment buildings, houses, and had never used hard money at all private lenders.
Crazy.
So he really taught us how, and I'll share this with the audience, building on what Vinnie shared, is you already listening, watching, you already know people who are perfect private lenders. They don't know it and you don't know it. So making that connection, and the big mental shift that I had to make at the beginning was I'm not begging them for money.
Yes.
Good return on your investment, secured by real estate in one of the best markets in the country, with a promissory note and a mortgage, just like a bank. So, Joe that I'm talking to and saying, do you know anybody who might be interested in something like that? Not going to him directly, but do you know anybody? And that has worked for me in several ways where people will say, no, I don't really care about that or understand. People will say, well, I'd like to hear more about that. Or literally 4 months ago, I had somebody say, I understand what you're talking about. I'm topped out, but my brother wants to do that. And literally his brother became my lender. So having conventional lenders, I think you're more of a creative lender. And then the hard money lenders and private lenders. The private lenders are gold.
Yeah.
As you said, I love that you brought that up because you could see that as competition for yourself, but it really isn't. It's an augmentation of what you do.
Yeah. 100%. You want to have relationships in place if in case that ever happens, Yeah.
Yeah. Without exaggeration, I was lying in bed at 3 a.m. thinking about what's my plan B for several situations.
Yeah.
And what's the plan B? What's plan B? And Dusty Keefe, who's my coaching partner and a good friend, just talks about that all the time. It's like, not everything works the way you think it's going to work. So let's go full steam on plan A until, it's obvious that that's not going to work. Then what's plan B and maybe plan C? And I think that's the point you were making is have multiple avenues. I've not heard of, I've not experienced that, and I hope to never experience that as a borrower. You're trying to get a project done, and you submit a draw request, and your lender's out of business.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. So having a backup plan and being able to, so you were able to refi people out of those.
Yeah, because they have so much equity in the deal from the work they've done.
Right.
That most of the time they didn't have to bring cash to close our loan, so it works out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good knowledge. I appreciate you sharing that. Another thing that I've done just a couple of times is pull a second mortgage if the rehab becomes more than we thought it was going to be, but there's plenty of equity there. And I've paid off. I don't have any outstanding second mortgages right now. I've paid. So but it can be a tool, or refinancing, like I did with you, is a great tool that I don't think people always think about. You get very tunnel vision. So
Yeah.
I think you brought up a great point. That's something people need to know.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Vinny.
Of course.
Enjoyed talking to you. Again, congratulations on the upcoming wedding
Thank
and
you.
on your success in business.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for having me. It was an honor.
Absolutely. And thanks to the audience for watching or listening. And this has been the Blue Cup Podcast. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, and our Good Faith websites. Brian will post those in the comments below so you can find it. And make sure that you comment on it. Anything that you heard from Vinny or me today that you disagree with, agree with, would like to know more about, or subjects that we should cover. Your comments are super valuable. So we look forward to hearing your comments. Thanks again, Vinny. Thanks to the audience. And this is the Blue Cup Podcast.